Welcome back to the Division 2. In this video we are going to be taking a look at my newly obtained triple god roll perfect Diamondback rifle. I was lucky enough to get this from my Polarity Switch exotic cache and someone asked me to do a video with it. I currently run a rifle build, so that's going to help out. And if we quickly have a look at the gun, it's got god rolled rifle damage, crit damage and headshot damage. The talent means that the Diamondback randomly marks an enemy. Hitting that enemy consumes the mark, guaranteeing a critical hit with damage amplified by 20%. A new random enemy is marked afterwards and whenever you reload. It only has 5 rounds in the, I'm not going to say mag, it's a lever action rifle, so you load each round separately. But you get 5 rounds in what the game says mag, and then you have to reload. If you want to take a look at the build I'm running in depth, I'll quickly run you through it now, but if you want to look at it in more depth, it's on the channel. The video is titled Must Watch Insane Rifle Build. This build is incredible. I've been using it for a couple of weeks now, and it's never let me down. But every single piece has god rolled weapon damage, and the rest of it literally just focuses on crit chance and crit damage. I have Overwatch, so when I stay in cover for 10 seconds, it increases mine and allies' weapon and skill damage by 12%, as long as I remain in cover or do a cover-to-cover move. The backpack talent is Vigilance, so it increases my total weapon damage by 25%. If I could get a better roll, I'm still looking for it on this bag, then I would. And then we've also got the perfect Fox's Prayer knees, crit chance, damage to targets out of cover and weapon damage. But yeah, there's a crit chance, crit damage, weapon damage build, so it's fully spec'd into DPS minus the 2 blue attributes on the bag. And we're going to be running American History Museum on Heroic, because this is one of the easier missions and I know this mission inside out. I just want to see the differences between using the Baker's Dozen and switching it up and using the Diamondback, obviously because it's a perfect roll. So let's get into the mission. I'm hoping the 5 rounds don't let me down. Okay, so this is Heroic. So we've got this enemy coming out here. It does hit quite heavy. This guy's marked. So it's guaranteed crits, and I just got a 4 million crit headshot. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of this Diamondback. It would be alright if I could actually hit my target. So I'm getting nearly 1 million on armor. I'm getting a lot of damage, like it's incredibly high damage with each shot I pull off. The main holding area is downstairs. Get moving. I'm not too over keen on the 5 rounds. That's the only thing letting this down. And if I remember back to when I first got this from Kenley College, it was the exact same problem. I always hoped that they would eventually increase the amount of rounds you could put in it, maybe up to 8 or 10, because it really isn't a bad weapon. That's an RPG straight over my head. It's not a bad weapon, it's just 5 rounds and then having to reload is a bit of a pain, especially if you miss your shots. I mean, I don't think this is going to get any better than I can currently get it. Because my build is so heavily focused on crits, this is guaranteeing crits. I mean, if you take the chance off and you actually hit the marked enemies, if you can just squeeze as much crit damage out of the build as possible, it could possibly get even better than I already have it. And you've got to bear in mind, this is Heroic difficulty, solo play. And I know this mission's fairly easy, like one of the easier missions. I'm thinking if you can get someone in a group, and you've got one person running Coyote's mask, And then if you have maybe someone with tardigrade and then someone with something else to help out the squad, I would say, see, the baker's dozen works well when lots of people are using it. I'm not sure this would do too good if 4 players were using it in a group. I'm thinking maybe 1 or 2 players out of a 4-player group and it would work. I mean, it's not too bad on the reload speed. And the RPM seems okay as well. And I like how you can press your right trigger whilst you're reloading. And it lets you stop reloading and just have as many rounds in the mag as you want. Or as many rounds as you want. Okay, we've made more progress. I'm going to say the baker's dozen is still the better of the 2. Although I do have to try this in a group. And this is the best you'll ever get this gun. It's got every single stat maxed. Okay, here comes Captain Briggs. That was a nice little shot there. Is Briggs the last enemy? Okay, Briggs was. So that was American History Museum. I don't know why I've loaded up my map. With the Diamondback exotic rifle, and I'm just going to say the same thing again. It's a nice gun. I'd have to try it in group play, but it doesn't beat this baker's dozen. Look how bad this roll is. But the baker's dozen is such a good rifle. If you're looking for the baker's dozen, go and farm targeted loot for rifles. It's the named variant of the classic M1A. So the Diamondback, I do like it. I like how it marks an enemy and then you've got the guaranteed crit with boosted damage. But I'm really, really against that 5 rounds before you have to reload all 5 of them. I think that's probably the biggest letdown for the weapon. Always has been and always will be. But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.